Hello guys, we are back again with One Football as they cover the biggest tournament in the world. Of course, it's the Football World Cup. And that's not all. One Football are going to be providing you with in-game live ticker information. They're also going to be telling you the head-to-head results between the two teams for the last 5 years, along with all the usual lineups and much, much more.
So guys, what are you waiting for? Head to the link in the description and download the One Football app.
Hello guys and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer, and this is our first World Cup video of the season. And for those who know us know that, me more than Scott, not the biggest international fan, but when the tournaments get here, Scott, I'm all or nothing. England till we die. Should we jump straight in, guys? We are going to be discussing our group stages. We're not going to talk about the knockouts. That'll be another video. But we're going to talk about who we think will exit the groups.
Yeah, and let's start off then, kicking it off with Group A, which of course is the host nation, and they are joined by Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. It'll be interesting to see what Qatar do in this World Cup. We know that, ever since it was announced that we're going to get the World Cup, they've been building a bit of a squad, basically pulling in from different nations, getting them to switch their allegiance over to them so they can have a respectable team. They come up against an Ecuador team who are a very young team. Obviously, they've got Bryson's Casiado, which will be a name which rings true. But for me, I think I'm going to back the other two. And it's no surprise that I'm going to say Netherlands to top the group. And then I'm probably going to go with Senegal second.
I think I have to agree with you. There was an international tournament that Qatar won. Please don't kill me. I forgot the name. But they did win an international tournament. But, yeah, I think the Netherlands and Senegal.
Yeah,
guys,
Senegal,
Group B.
Yeah, I was just going to say Senegal, of course, reigning African Cup of Nations champions. So they're in good form.
Yeah. Absolutely. Group B, guys, of course, it's the big one for us. I think it's probably the biggest group as well in terms of rivalries because you've got Iran in there and then you've got England, the USA and Wales. I mean, you really cannot make it up. If it was in a movie, I'd walk out and say, this isn't realistic. It's just what's going on. Let's get the elephant out of the room, shall we? Do you think Iran can do anything?
Not really, no. And it's interesting that it should have been Iran and Saudi Arabia should have been joining us in this group originally, but of course they couldn't play against each other due to a national conflict. But yeah, God knows what happens if both of them make it out the group and come up against each other. But to be honest, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. So no, I don't think they're making it out the group. I think it's between the other three.
I think we have to say England go through, don't we? We have to say England go through. It's between the USA and Wales. I think the USA has got a better squad on paper. We are seeing quite a few more American players in the Premier League now. There's a couple at Leeds, of course. The LeBron James of football, Pulisic, is at Chelsea. Although he's not in great form, he's obviously their talisman. I think they've got a better squad on paper than Wales. But that Welsh fighting spirit, that dragon spirit, they've got it. We've seen it in previous years, recent years. Ramsey, Bale, what can they do? They've got a few other players that can probably cause a few problems. But do you know what, Scott? I'd rather the USA go through, but I think I'm going to give it Wales. I'm going to give it the home nation. I think it's England and Wales.
Oh, that's interesting because I think it could come down to who gets upset over England. I think England ultimately should get 9 points in this group, but I do think there could be a potential upset, and whoever goes through, it could be whoever causes the upset. I've actually gone the other way, though. I've gone England top the group, and I've gone USA in second. Let's move on to Group C then. And, of course, we're talking about the man himself. He's going to be in the headlines so much. Lionel Messi. It is his last World Cup. And, of course, Argentina are joined in their group by Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Now, I think this is a really interesting group because I'm going to throw it out straight away. I do think Argentina top the group. I think they're probably one of my favourites for the tournament, and that's not just because of the Messi factor. But I think there's going to be a really interesting battle between Mexico and Poland. Obviously, we know about Lewandowski, but you've also got Lozano for Mexico. Both of them, I think both nations are going to be looking to be their talisman for the tournament, and whoever maybe starts really well could actually be the reason that one of these two get through. So I'm looking forward to this group, James, to be fair.
Do you know what? So am I. This is a group that I will keep a close eye on. Being Wolves fans, we've got a lot of love for Raul Jimenez. If this tournament was 2-3 years ago, you'd probably put them as up there, maybe to win the group of the form he was in. And Argentina weren't brilliant 3-4 years ago. But no, I think I'm going to go with Lewandowski. He's in such good form at Barcelona right now. I think he's the third top goal scorer in Europe in the top 5 major leagues, second or third. But I'm going to go Argentina to win it, and I'm going to go Poland as well. Guys, coming on to Group D, we have.
I need to say my second place. I do agree.
Oh, okay.
Despite them not being in, fantastic coming up to the tournament. Now let me hand it over to you for Group D.
Thank you. We are coming on to France, Australia, Denmark, and of course Tunisia. Without going into the obvious too much, I think we've got to say France are one of the favourites to get to the final. So to say that they're not going to at least get out the group, of course, would be a little bit illogical. Scott, this is going to be a bit interesting, but you know what? I just got to give it Denmark. After what happened at the Euros, I think they're going to gel. They've got a lot of good players as well. A lot of players that play for Brentford, no less. So France to win, Denmark to go second. I do give Australia a small chance.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I'm actually going to match you for first and second. And of course, as you all know, James, I am an 8 French, so my second country to top the crowd. I'd say that to take the mick out of you more than anything. And this is where my laughter cuts out, James, because I am going to now speak about Group E, which is Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan.
What a group! What a group!
Do you know what? Let me get my rant out the way first, because I keep seeing these TikTokers and YouTubers now joining in on it, where they go, "Oh, this is the group of death. This is really hard to predict." And I'm like, people are doing this just to be purposely controversial. There is nothing hard to predict about this group. You've got a German team that is coming into it on one of the best forms, no matter what. They're coming into it on great form, so they're easily going to top the group. Second place, people are going, "Oh, I don't think Spain are going to do well." They're going to finish second, and there is nothing. I hate it because people are being controversial for no reason because they need an edgy opinion. There is nothing edgy about saying Japan because they've got a couple of Bundesliga players are going to finish second. No, they're not. They are not. And that is my rant over. I have gone Spain to finish second, and I think it's quite clear that they will finish second as well. They are a young team. They've got experienced heads as well, and they've got massive talent. And I pray to God that you are not, I'm not even a religious man, but I'm still praying to God that you are not one of these people that are going to go, "Oh, let's be controversial for no reason." And I'm going to hand it over to you. You want to do it now just to wind me up.
I mean, I was not expecting that at all. These videos aren't rehearsed. And
I can see it on your face.
I kind of wish that you had have warned me that you were going to go on that tirade. Do you know what? I'm not going to take anything away from your rant. That was brilliant. I'm just going to say Spain, Germany to go through. But I don't want to take any limelight after what you just did. So I'll give you that one. Guys, let's swiftly, and I mean swiftly, move on to Group F. Interesting group: Belgium, Croatia, Canada, and Morocco. Again, we can try, like you said, try and be a bit edgy, try and find maybe a dark horse. It's going to be Belgium and Croatia, isn't it? I wouldn't put it past Croatia getting top spot. They've still got a lot of good players. Perisic is doing well at Spurs, the age he's had. Modric, of course, as well. They've got players, but probably would go Belgium top, Croatia second.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that. I've gone Belgium top, Croatia second. I think it's going to be interesting for Morocco, mainly because they actually got a new coach 3 months ago. But I think if anything, that probably doesn't bode well for them going into the new, going into the World Cup with a new coach. So I have gone Belgium first, Croatia second. Let's go into Group G now, where I am actually going to be a lot calmer in this group. And we've got Brazil, so Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. And I think this is a group actually where there's a bit more debate to be had. And I do think some genuine debate as well. I think there's no surprise that when, again, I put Brazil as one of my favourites for the tournament. I think when you look further on, it would actually be Argentina and Brazil that would meet in the semi-final if you went for the likely ways that those teams would go, I do believe. Off the top of my head. So that would be an absolutely fantastic semi-final. I fancy one of them to make the final, to be honest. But, of course, no surprise, Brazil to top the group, which means we've got Serbia, Switzerland and Cameroon to speak about. I think this is a hard one to predict, to be honest with you. You
know what? I'm going to go for Switzerland, and I'm basing that on history. They just tend to get out of groups, whether it's the World Cup or the Euros. They just get into the knockout stages. They did it at the Euros. They do it quite a lot. And you look, we've always said, as much as Jacques has been up and down for Arsenal, he's always pretty much turned up for Switzerland. And look at the form he's in at the moment as well. He's going to be a true leader of that team. I'm going Brazil, Switzerland.
It's a good point. I didn't actually think about Xhaka, but I'm not going to change my mind just because you've raised a good point there. This is my first group, but I believe anyway that a European team won't be getting through. I've actually gone with Cameroon. I just fancy them. I fancy them to get through.
They could do well. They really, really could. And guys, we come on to the last but not least group. That is Group H, where it's Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and of course, South Korea. Scott, is it edgy, like you said about Japan, to say South Korea in this group? Could it be Uruguay and South Korea? Could it be Portugal, South Korea? Could it be Ghana, South Korea?
I mean, this is a bit of a hard one for me, isn't it? Because if I do a bit of a rant about South Korea and also if I do a bit of a rant about Japan and South Korea, I'm going to start getting accused of things which aren't true. I do not have anything against Asian countries. Let's just put that out there. But I just think people get caught up when it comes to South Korea on Son. I'm not saying that he's the only player.
Hwang Hee-chan. We're Wolves
Hwang Hee-chan, yeah.
Hwang Hee-chan.
When he's one of the better players, it really does show. But they don't really have that much, do they? Let's be honest. And I think for me, I am going to go with the South American team of Uruguay to top the group. And I think Portugal, some people are saying it, Portugal might not get through. They'll get through, but I think they will be second, to be honest.
Yeah. South Korea won the Asian Games, didn't they, in 2020, was it? That's what Son, because then Son didn't have to do his full 2 years service in the military. They do well. They just, like the Japans, the South Koreas, and they get to tournaments, they just tend to just work so hard as a team. But it's Ronaldo's last hurrah, isn't it? And then you look at the players that they've got. Bruno Fernandes, Neves, Nunes. Well, they've got the Wolves team, let's just say that.
I mean, so look at the defense. They've got Diaz, Cancelo.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's got to be Portugal. Scott, I'm going to do it. This is my one edgy call. I've given all my other reasons for the Switzerland and whoever, like Wales. This one, I'm just going on who I would like to see go through. And I'd like to see South Korea go through. Portugal,
mate, I'm not going to argue with you on that too much because, as I said, I'll be getting some false accusations thrown at me if I do. But guys, let us know your predictions in the comments. What are your predictions for teams to get through? Do not dare say Japan to be edgy because I will be coming back at you in the comments. But please do like the video if you've enjoyed it. Please
and we've lost all of our Japanese subscribers. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, take care. We'll be back soon for more football content. Take care. Goodbye.